All right, let's rewind for a second. This whole mess didn't start with bombs or guns. It started with a tiny lie, the kind people tell every day to save face. One dude messed up, panicked, and instead of owning it, he twisted the truth. At that moment, it felt harmless. No drama, no danger, just words. But words don't disappear. They hang in the air waiting to blow up. That lie didn't stay quiet for long. It slid through the town like gossip on steroids. People repeated it, changed it, added spice to it. Nobody checked facts. Nobody slowed down. Fear traveled faster than logic ever could. And once fear takes control, people stop thinking. They react. Soon, the lie turned into a rumor. Then the rumor turned into, everyone knows this is true. That's how dangerous misinformation works. The original story got buried under opinions, assumptions, and straight-up exaggeration. At this point, the truth didn't stand a chance. When the town leaders heard about it, they didn't ask questions. They felt pressure. Pressure to act fast, look strong, and stay in control. They made decisions based on emotion, not evidence. And that rush, that's where everything went sideways. The blame got pushed onto the neighboring town. Why? Because history made it easy. Old grudges, old tension, unfinished beef. The lie didn't create hate, it just woke it up. Now there was an enemy, and everyone needed someone to point at. It started small, a few threats, some rocks thrown, broken windows. But violence doesn't need a big reason to grow. Every hit justified the next one. Nobody wanted to be the one who backed down home burned. Families ran, kids cried, and the wild part? Half the people fighting didn't even know why anymore. They were just defending their side because that's what everyone else was doing. The other town fired back, claiming self-defense. In their minds, they were the victims. That's how war works. Both sides feel right, and nobody feels guilty. Before anyone realized it, nearby regions got pulled in. Allies chose sides. Neutrality vanished. One lie now had a body count. Politicians smelled opportunity. They wrapped the lie in patriotic speeches and sold it as a necessary war. Fear became policy. Soldiers were sent in, most of them barely grown. They didn't know the full story, didn't ask either. Orders came down, and that was enough. To them, the enemy wasn't human. It was just a target shaped by lies they'd been fed. Then the first shots were fired. The first body hit the ground. That's the moment everything changed. Because once blood is spilled, nobody wants to admit it was for nothing. Back home, families waited. Phones stayed silent. Mothers stared at doors. Fathers pretended to be strong. Nobody talked about the lie anymore when the pain was louder. To keep the war going, leaders doubled down. They couldn't admit they were wrong, so they turned the lie into propaganda. Posters, speeches, slogans, all screaming the same fake truth. Years passed. Kids grew up knowing nothing but conflict. For them, war was normal. The lie had aged into history. One old man finally spoke up. He'd seen the original incident. He knew it was all wrong. But truth sounds weak when lies have guns. The truth came late, way too late. By then, the lie had uniforms, laws, and borders built around it. Some people questioned everything. They protested. They asked for proof. And they were silenced, labeled traitors for wanting facts. Eventually, both sides were exhausted. Soldiers were tired. Civilians were broken. Nobody even remembered how this all started. Peace talks finally began. Not because anyone won, but because everyone lost.